William used to have goals. He had dreams of Warhammer. You know, he had projects, he had aspirations, painting milestones. What happened, William?
Is it Nelson Mandela?
What? Hold on.
I get it.
How many Nelson
Let's see
Mandela
where he's
quotes do you
going.
have? Okay, go.
Wait, is
go.
it Nelson Mandela? I just want to make sure.
No.
Wait,
no. I have a dream?
Yeah.
You talking with I have a dream speech? William, I'll give you one guess. Come on, man.
Is it not Nelson Mandela?
Okay, come on, man. Try again. Give you a hint.
Wait. Yeah. Dream, yeah? No?
No, it's
I have a dream.
it's
Yeah,
Martin
Nelson
Luther
Mandela.
King.
Oh, no.
Well, to be fair,
Wait,
I think Nelson Mandela had
Martin Luther King. Yes,
Martin
yes,
Luther King.
Yes. Martin Luther King.
If we were American, right, and we, I think this is when you get crucified.
Your minority statuses allow you to talk about this. I'm just going to keep real quiet.
Yeah. I have a dream. A dream
Yeah.
to do something,
I see where you're going there, Will.
but, the dream never happened.
So all
This
this
is
comes
the
off
racism
the
test.
crux
William,
of-
name 3 black people.
I think quite a few months ago, we talked about the fact that Lucas and I came around. You were preparing to move your house, William, and Lucas and I came around and collected what I would call a large sample of Warhammer products. So then we're going to sell at the shop.
Yeah.
And going through those over a period of time, I've been slowly inserting them into our stockist and adding them in there. And I think what I came across was a clear vision of some previous projects that you had either began or wished that you would one day begin. I think there's some clear.
I'll go for the second one. Wish.
Okay.
What I've noticed though going through there is you had lots of I would say time and
I didn't have time.
okay, maybe
You
not
had
time.
a lot of duplicate.
a lot of financial freedom to dream about some of these projects because
There's no time in it, Danny.
there would be an entire starter box that you would have, and then out of the box you've clipped out one single gun, clearly used for a project of one another, and it's 99% of a sealed product except for this one thing missing. So I can see where you're coming from, right?
Yeah.
I have some clear standouts. You've got Shadow Spear, which is a Chaos box versus I think Space Marine is probably most likely. You've got those in different
Wolves,
languages.
yeah.
So
Is it cheaper?
It's cheaper, is
Oh,
it?
yeah, okay.
Is that
I guess
how
the
it goes?
plastic is multi-language. It doesn't matter, right?
You don't need the books.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's true.
here's the catch, William. They were still sealed.
Yeah, I wanted the the Marines that's jumping that were the big guns.
Yeah.
William as a true
They didn't
Asian.
release that in
Yeah.
boxes, right?
In Australia?
No, it didn't release in boxes.
The shadow box, shadow.
No.
Oh, separate. Like individual
separately.
boxes.
The Marines.
So you had to
Interesting.
only get it inside that box.
Yeah.
Well, what a
that
chip.
must be why the markup is quite high in that box then.
Yes.
see.
Got it.
There's only certain miniatures you can't. That's why I
And
bought
we know
it.
Space Marine players.
And
They
you
gotta get
can't
the
you can't
minis.
buy the Shadow Spear box because it's so expensive.
Gotcha.
Because obviously, we're, as a team, we're trying to make sure that we can get as much money for these boxes as we can. So what I'm using, anything that's out of print, I'm going to eBay and looking at the sold listings of what some of the things are sold for,
Yeah.
and some of them are hectic. Like
Really?
they're like $400, $600, $700.
I didn't pay that much.
Yeah,
The outer
I
print.
assume so.
There's quite a bit of it's out of print.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, because it's
Especially
so
sealed
old.
boxes.
Yeah.
So that one there, you had a Japanese one and you had a German one, and it was very fun to learn that
The Schaden Spear, whatever it's called.
the
I didn't care. I just care about the miniatures.
It was very fun to learn that the German word for shadow was Schatten. So
Schatten.
It was the Schatten spear.
Or you can call it the magic the Shadow
You
Spear.
know, when you have so many
Yeah.
sealed
Schaden
boxes,
Spear.
in my mind, it's like,
Shit, yeah.
in my mind, as a true Asian, William, we see a good deal and we're like, let's just go for it and worry about it later.
Yes. And the worry just stacked up, and 3 years later, it's still there.
It's still there.
Damn.
I noticed there was the Cadia stands. You had probably, I think, 7 or 9 of those. I can't remember that off the top, but you
was
had
enough.
You had a lot.
That was a banger box. So I understand.
So
that was a good one.
The dream was, I had a dream of, I think I was thinking hey, if I could just contrast paint this shit and make it into a big army.
a diorama or something?
No, just lots.
But then William goes from
Indians,
one army. He's like, nah, that wasn't it. I'll try this army. No, that wasn't it. I'll try this one again.
In the Cadia stands box, there was, in the amount that you had, I think I worked it out to be about 240, 250 Imperial Guard. Just the guardsmen.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of guardsmen to paint, brother. That's a
That's a lifetime.
that sounds like a nightmare more than a dream.
It was a big dream.
It's a Warhammer world level of.
And then it just It's just
just
I
worked.
like, and then sometimes when you do something, and then when you open it and you realize the thing,
Hey, you're sitting.
it's like, oh shit, this is too much work.
Hey, you're sitting inside of one of those right now.
I think I have too much on my plate right now.
Oh shit!
And then you'll be like, ooh,
So the elephant in the room.
maybe not.
The elephant in the room, William, is I know you used to play Underworlds, but why do you have?
No, I did not play Underworlds.
Okay, that's even worse. Why do you have 7 boxes of
'Cause of
die
the
cast?
parts. You need-
You saw 7 of them in my car.
Okay.
There is at least 5 more.
All right.
Why so much die
So
cast?
they have custom base,
Yes.
Sure,
so you can use the base.
sure.
What?
What?
The base.
Because in Underworlds they use molded bases. that can
Correct.
make-
Yeah,
yeah.
so you can use the base
For what?
What did you
for
use
like
it for?
other miniatures to stand on.
Hold on, where's my phone? I got look up die
You can't
chasm.
buy them.
Which base are we talking in die chasm?
Everything.
Oh my god!
No. So what? In the majority of the boxes, you've taken out the elven side and left the
Yeah, so
Slaanesh side
like
in
I
there.
used some of the Elvens, but the bases I wanted to use them as well as parts.
So there was a particular.
it's a good parts like box.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
No,
true.
you can just
Incredible.
paste. You can seal up the
Wait,
holes.
I
Holes.
kind of see
Yeah.
it right because on the elven side, these rocky bases are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
But but there was I would say 12 to 14 of them.
Yeah. Just get more first. Think later.
What about later?
Did you get them on a good deal or something?
Not really.
It's Underworld. It's a clearance.
I did notice that. Yeah, that is very true. I did notice that you'd taken out all the playboards and
Oh, no, I didn't take it out. I threw them away
Yeah.
because it's too heavy.
Yeah,
It's not like I'm taking it out and sell them.
that's
but
where
it's too
that's where
heavy.
William's thinking functionally, economically.
I'm like,
it's too much weight on my shelves. I gotta
throw some shit
I gotta
away.
optimize it.
Because there's no way. Like I ask like people like, do you want the boards? Like no one wants the boards.
No
So
one
like
wants
I
the
just throw it
boards.
away.
It's
so
Underworlds is
heavy.
a shame because it's one of those things where it actually is quite a good game, and I think if it had the support of a like a Magic the Gathering or like something like that, you really could run functional tournaments because just like Blood Bowl, those games where you can still play on a regular trestle size table instead of needing a very large
Absolutely.
table, you can fit them functionally into a bit.
They could just made a TCG out of it.
The
Yeah.
trick with these kind of supplementary Warhammer products is that, in my mind, it's very much made for the UK. It's made for like the localized Warhammer community that's very like populous in
Yep.
the UK, and in the UK they get like 400 player tournaments for Underworlds.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just Australia can't sustain it because we're just so spread out.
I think it suffered from that COVID thing as well, whereas like the prime time was just before COVID, and it was trying to decide whether it was going to be hyper competitive or hyper not competitive. Because the hyper competitive people would buy all of the different packs,
Yes.
and then and match the like
You get a best deck
yeah,
possible.
mix the decks together. For like anyone listening who hasn't played it, it's basically like it's half miniatures, half card games, and you build the deck, and then it gives you abilities to play, right? And then I think the competitive players would buy all these different packs. And then you'd have some of the casuals be like, well, I don't want to buy all these different packs. But as card gamers, we're like, look,
That's the fun. That's the
spending
chase.
$40 or
Yeah.
you know, they release 3 every couple of months. So spending $180, $120 every couple of months as a card game, you're like, that's kind of a dream, to be honest with you. Like
Correct.
it's super low commitment. But for Warhammer players, where you're trying to entice these people across, they usually buy a set of miniatures and they're good for a long period of time, right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the Diachasm one really threw me because there was a lot of them.
Where do you think it started for you, William? Where did it start? Where you started going, hey, I'm gonna start buying sealed boxes.
I didn't buy sealed boxes. I had a project
Okay.
boxes.
When
when I start realizing
when did
that
the
I
pile,
would
when did the pile start getting out of hand?
Yeah.
when
He didn't. He never got out of hand. He just built more functional ways to hide the problem.
True.
well I started like okay then after, I think at
Yeah.
the time I was like okay max two.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Because
max two.
As hobbyists, right? We all
It was
have
like,
piles
I
of
don't
shame,
think
right?
maybe one is for like if I messed up, I have another one.
Yeah, I get that. I can see that. Yeah,
I get it because I've started tucking away a lot of my stuff that I haven't even started just under my table now. I just like if I don't see it,
Next minute is
Can't hurt
it
me.
not on boards?
Well, I think what I'm missing out most of is I wish I'd started a year or two earlier, and I could have capitalized on William mass spending. That's like if I could have sold him
incredible.
9 versions
Yeah.
of Cadia stands myself, I would have been in.
we did
the
sell them a
dream.
lot of Commander Masters. So
Well,
it cycles into card
there's a
games.
couple of projects like Gas Gruel, right? I had 2 because I messed up the
Nice.
first one
I get
Yes.
it.
when I was cleaning out, and then the 2 horns that's coming out of his armor.
Yep.
Yeah, I messed up. I think I dented one. Then I had to get another one out.
I do feel like because you were doing like more competitive painting and taking it quite seriously, I definitely have it starting with one and then doing like a practice one and then starting on a second one. I think it's kind of the same concept of me hoarding a lot of my old metal miniatures, being like, well, one day I'll be good at painting and I'll paint these. It's like that, like, oh, I'll do it one day kind of situations.
A lot of
one day. Next minute is another one.
Yeah, next minute I'm having a midlife crisis.
What you doing?
And then one day's come and gone.
Yeah, it's like the regret section.
the regret section.
The regret section. I believe that might be the entire story.
The regret section.
The regret section is inside people's eyes when they open a booster pack and they don't get what they want.
Speaking about Warhammer as well, the big one is finally out. They finally showcased all of it, like the entire box content. I didn't realize it was coming out so early. 11th edition Armageddon box.
Yep.
They did the reveal stream showing off both the Space Marines and Orcs and all the other rules aside. Obviously, we're going to get right to the minis because that's the fun part.
Yeah,
Have you guys had a chance to look at it yet?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Let's pull it
a lot of dynamic posts now.
So the big selling point of 11th Ed is that it's a Blood Angels emphasized Space Marine side versus Orcs. Refresh of a lot of Space Marines that existing minis, and Orcs getting a lot of love as well. So let's start with the Space Marine side. We got the obligatory captain on a relic shield. How do you guys feel about that one?
Oh, I'm just scrolling back to the top.
It's all good. I'll let you guys pull up the things.
Cool. I like the dynamic posing. He's got the old classic well placed rock going on.
In particular, I want you guys to scroll down and check it out.
He looks.
The big selling point of 11th Ed is that they're trying to unite Firstborn Space Marines with Primera Space Marines. The big theory is that they're going to no longer have the blur. So they're going to blur the lines of Primaris and Firstborn in 11th Ed and finally get rid of all distinction. They're just going to be Space Marines. It doesn't matter if they're Primaris, it doesn't matter if they're Firstborn, they're just called Space Marines now.
Yeah,
and then for the sake of
Oh.
minis, you get the updated minis and with the option and flair of playing them as Firstborn. So that helmet, right, is that old school Firstborn helmet, and I love it with the gold laurel wreath.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
I think it also it fits better in there what the image of a Space Marine is in a lot of
100%.
people's heads. You know what I mean?
I think we've been playing long enough where all of us grew up with that old, like frowny face looking helmet, the Mark 7s.
Absolutely. It's also like on all of their old marketing in so many ways. Like a lot of stores still have those massive cardboard cutouts. When you think of Total War, you think of that Space Marine thing on there. Oh, not Total War. What was the Age of Empires version
Dawn
of
of
it?
War.
Dawn of War.
Hey,
Dawn of
isn't
War.
this your kind of box then? You could Blade Angels, right?
Well, I've stopped playing Blood. I've stopped playing
this
Space
guy.
Marines. No more Space Marines. I can't
Is
do
that an
Space Marines.
excuse for not painting finish your Dante?
I think like these look incredible.
I'll get around it.
Look at this.
The ancient-
It's almost a year, guys. It's not more than a year.
it's been a while.
The ancient with the flag is also a classic model
Very,
from
very
a
dynamic
box,
now. Yes.
a box cover many years
Yeah.
ago.
So the only complaint, one of the main complaints I've heard on the Space Marine side is that it's very much a refresh to things that already exist. Like you get captains already exist, librarians already exist, intercessors already exist. Even the eradicators already exist.
Well, it's all
But
just
now
newer
they're
posts, right?
Big refresh, better posing, and more dynamic kits.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the big one is that if you see 11th Ed starter box as a starter box for an edition, fantastic value for the Space Marines, right?
Yeah.
These are always going to be fantastic value to start an army with. The only one that I'm not entirely convinced on is Librarian. I think the posing for the Librarian is a little bit uninspired.
Yeah, it's actually a complete rehash of an old model that existed. Do you remember the blister pack one?
Yeah, the one who is like very stiff.
Yeah.
Was that one a Finecast mini?
Nah, he
Nah,
did
metal.
come in plastic.
Metal
Gotcha.
as well.
The chaplain with jump pack is also very cool, but I
Very
think
cool.
chaplains have always had a cool aesthetic.
Yeah,
Can't deny those ones.
Once you get the skull helmet and the spikes and the
Everyone has a jump pack.
Yeah, the emphasis is assault.
Is
like
this a
an
first
attack.
assault Primaris?
It's yes.
Oh, no, right? Yes, no, yes.
no,
It's
there's
supposed to be like an
Primaris.
aggressive because it's Blood Angels, very,
Okay.
like wings, right, on jetpacks.
Yeah,
The Vanguard veterans, new
they've
Vanguard
kept with the chunky looking jump packs though, with the little bulbous ones. Well,
absolutely.
some might call a chody looking.
Yeah, they no longer do the old jump pack Marines had that kind of square blocky jump pack,
Yeah.
and now there's more modernized Primaris look.
which
I think the Vanguard vets look. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna withhold my judgment on the Vanguard vets until we see the actual official box kit.
yeah, okay.
Because the Armageddon kit, these starter box kits are monopose when they usually the individual releases are
yeah.
multi-part kits.
Yeah.
So I think these guys look fine. I'm a big fan of the one that has like the firstborn feel to it, especially with the. If I could zoom into that photo. This one here. This one here.
Oh
Yeah.
I do like that they've got
Yeah.
the mixed armor kits as well again.
Correct. I'm actually a big fan of the mixing of the first and not.
Well, it's always
First
part of that
one,
classic story, part of the whole lore where these things are thousands, tens of thousands of years old, and they're cobbling together the armor pieces they can from
Everything, right?
their heroes and people that like Space Marines that came before them and that kind of stuff. So
Absolutely.
it gives a lot more character to them for sure.
And then we have the Eradicators. So these guys used to have, I know you guys remember, in Indominus, it was the ones with the melters. They had the big Gravis armor, underhand slinging melters.
Is this these are like a replacement for the heavy weapons?
Yes,
These guys back in
these
the
are
day,
the new
right?
Devastator Marines.
And-
effectively.
Eradicators.
yeah.
Yeah.
These are now officially the quote unquote Devastators, I imagine.
And they
But heavy bolters look good.
yeah, they do look good. I like the shield on the front of the bolters make it maybe look a little less sleek and violent, but it definitely feels like it's a more functional. Like that would make more sense if you're using
My hope is that the front shielding is a separate piece that you don't have to glue on.
Oh, yes,
and
I
you can
see.
still have that profile of that classic underslinging heavy bolt, MG look.
Yeah, I do get it because realistically, if this was a real military weapon, that shield would actually just be very large.
Yeah.
Almost closer to the Ogrins, how they have like a larger shield
body
on the front of
shield,
them.
yeah.
Because the whole point of these guys is they move really slow and uncontested,
right?
yeah, through the battle. So having a shield on the front of the gun actually makes it
Like
a
a
lot more
riot
sense.
shield kind of thing. What it reminds me a lot of is, in Halo 3, when you could rip a turret off of a...
Yes. Oh,
of a
yes.
platform?
Yeah,
Yeah.
true, yeah. And your speed is limited greatly, but your
You run
output of
around.
weaponry. Yeah.
Oh, look at the land speeder.
The land speed
Like,
is cool.
They stopped giving you that stupid transparent pole.
Yeah, they haven't done transparent poles for quite a while now,
I
right?
think they finally learned that no one cares about transparent parts.
Yeah.
They
It's-
want a dynamic base.
It's funny though, because I guess as an old school player, I think I always preferred the transparent poles, but I also understand why people don't want them. Like a lot of people super glue them and then it frosts up anyway. I think my problem is with maybe in the old kind of idea of having the transparent poles is like if you have this one land speeder and then you buy a second land speeder, they both have the bottom base, and to me that makes it look less strange.
100%.
But then the way the game works these days is you're probably going to just have one land speeder anyway. Like your army is not going to consist of multiple.
Is anyone out there passionate about land speeders? Has everyone gone out of the way to be like, I love Space Marine land speeders?
To me, this
'Cause this is
classic Space Marines.
Is it classic Space Marines?
Yeah,
because this is
all of the kits. The starter boxes back in the day had a couple bikes, like three
Right.
bikes and a land speeder, and
Gotcha.
that when they started to do funky stuff with bikes, and you're like, come on, man, it was a motorbike. That was the cool. That was
Just
the
give me
whole
the
point.
wheels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give me the
yeah,
wheels.
yeah.
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 The same as the tanks. Like when they do the gravity, it makes way more sense for like a military 40,000 years from now to have something that doesn't rely on wheels.
Correct.
Right. So there's they're putting
Yeah.
the tanks on the grav lifts makes way more sense. But you also,
Shouldn't be the targeting system always hit on a one? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's 40,000
In
years.
law, Space
and you
Marines are
still can't
super
aim
elite.
properly.
Yeah, I assume that in 40,000 years, our fridge is just making our sandwiches for us, so the tanks could probably fire
you
themselves.
go.
You know what I mean? But I think anyone over the age of 30, a land speeder is classic
No,
imagery.
I actually
Space
get
Marines.
that. No, that's
Did
I
something
understand
happen
that.
Dune in Warhammer? Technology is bad?
Yeah, it's called the Dark Age of technology, mate.
Oh, what happened then?
Well, after the Horus Heresy, humanity kind of went to a bit of a collapse and lost a lot of the access and records to making good tech. That's why that's why a lot of the tech that exists right now is high revered.
No wonder we went back to rolling dice.
Yeah. the stolen.
Wait, hold on. Then during Horus Heresy, wouldn't it be super good in alien?
Yeah, so
then?
during that 30K time was the peak of human technology.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does the robot look so shit then?
It looked shit, but it was incredibly advanced.
Okay.
Well, the lore, the biggest part of lore that Warhammer's stolen is probably this thing you're talking about which is from Dune, and that's why the Mars machine god stuff is kind of abashed by them because they're praising and lauding over a god of this machine god that is something that is for the rest of pretty much all other humanity is seen as like a blasphemy. And the whole idea is that they allowed the AI they basically just one-to-one ripped the whole Dune lore in this section, which is kind of like why
They've outlawed AI, but really it kind of exists.
yeah. But it's a big part of why over the last few decades where the ability to sue each other, they've diverted a little bit away from it. But in the original lore, it's just exactly one for one.
Okay.
So, but the concept is you see the same thing. It's the same exact concept for Terminator, where it's like the
Skynet.
whole the Skynet stuff. The whole idea is that right now you have
So did the technology took over in Warhammer?
What do you mean by takeover?
Like the AI, did it like?
They don't really touch upon that. I think there probably is law about, but they don't really touch upon it. And I know that.
So the only thing
in
that
the law,
happened
it's
was
kind of outlawed.
They
you,
did
you
have.
know what is the twist?
Yeah.
Chaos is actually AI. Oh,
Well, in Warhammer, what they started to do was that it was actually the Necrons.
Yeah.
So it's like they
Yeah.
make the Necrons were like secretly kind of behind it. Maybe that's the whole point of it, right?
Right.
Because like even on Mars, in the center of the planet, they find like a Catan.
Yeah,
Catan.
yeah.
It's one of those, one of the shards of a Catan that is kind of awakens, that gives the Mars living humans the ability to do all of this cool machinery stuff, and that's why it's based out of there.
Right.
One of my favorite sci-fi tropes is that, you know, the age-old saying of when technology gets so advanced, it's indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah.
And then there's alongside that, you have, as AI gets exponentially better and better and better, AI is synonymous with becoming a god, because with the presence of technology becoming omnipresent and powerful, and AI being, you know, ever intelligent, you just have that singularity of like an AI becoming a god. And you see that a lot in like sci-fi tropes. For example, in Halo, like when Cortana effectively ascends into like what's the word again when you ascend into a god?
Denny, business idea. All right. You know, AI is coming up, right?
Yeah.
Really fast, right? You know what you should do? We should create some EMP company, bro.
I think the
AI security.
government's probably already on that. But you know how like they use
Like portable EMPs. Like everyone in everyone's house.
Apotheosis. That's the word
okay.
I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Apotheosis means like ascending
Everyone
into
house.
godhood.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Everybody should have an EMP, a mini EMP.
I reckon some of the rich people have EMP rooms for sure.
Like just
Well,
ready.
the thing is, a nuclear explosion creates an EMP.
Yeah.
So same.
Yeah, but you don't want to destroy people. You don't want to destroy the AI.
Oh,
You
I
protect
think they want to
yourself.
destroy us.
The trick is you got to
No,
get
you
to
don't want to
them.
destroy the AI. You
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
protect yourself,
Just
right?
like Skynet, you got to destroy the AI before the AI destroys you.
yeah.
There's probably some like Warhammer lore aficionados that are mad at how poorly we're discussing this. But you know how they use the lobotomized like drones of human beings,
servitors.
The servitors.
Yeah.
They use those because they don't want to use robots for this exact reason. That's why that whole concept exists, like the
I think-
cherubs and the servitors.
I think there's a lot of like hinting towards that there was like a big AI crash.
No, they definitely. There was a part with that. You know the Thunder Warriors that were designed.
You know what you should do?
prior?
You should ask Mr. Kirkwood this.
Yeah,
You probably
true.
wouldn't
Yeah. But yeah, there was a huge war against the technology.
Oh, okay.
And that's why they use a lot
Sounds
of.
like Dune.
It's the same thing. You know, they have the guys, the
Yeah.
psychers in the ships that use the warp to
Yep.
thing. The exact same thing, so they don't have to use AI to transport them.
because
through
I've always taken it as that.
So they have the license to use what? Psychers.
Kind of. It's
Yeah,
more like it's
that's
really
exactly-
dangerous to traverse the warp. So specific people have to go to school to study how to travel the warp.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whereas, like, you know, the Tau, they just have a computer that does it. They go
Yeah.
beep boop, and they don't have to deal with like sacrificing human beings to.
Good luck.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I mean. And there's this huge part of it.
Right.
It's also a huge part of why
So how does the orc go through the wall?
They
just
literally
tank?
the orcs literally just take a long time. They just keep going.
Oh, that is true.
They literally just fly themselves, just fling themselves down space.
Yeah, that's why the whole thing is they fight a lot of demons inside the warp because they're just traveling through it like it's regular speed.
Oh, yes, right. They do go through the warp.
Yeah.
They do go through the warp, except they just love it because they're fighting demons all the time.
Yeah, but they just enter and then pop out wherever they pop out. It's less of a direction or kind of thing.
Ah, okay.
I love the idea of like
What about
somewhere
needs?
in the corners, like, I can't be
Tyranids-
bothered anymore.
I believe Tyranids do not use the warp.
Yeah, Tyranids are slow. They just kind of go through.
Oh, so they
I'm
just
pretty
like
sure.
They just expand through space itself.
Okay.
But they're an ever stopping, like they're an unstoppable tide. That's the idea.
Because you have to be more than. Well, I guess I wonder if that means that they're like the the human versions of Tyranids.
Oh, the gene stealer
The
codes?
gene stealer codes. I wonder if they can go through the warp.
Because they have enough human in them, they can actually use tech still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of the warp is that it only exists if people think it exists. Whereas Tyranids don't necessarily think. They're more like a cockroach. You know what I mean?
Right.
They
That's
just-
why they're quote unquote uncorruptible by chaos, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
I've always taken it as like the whole point of Warhammer is that the old lore is vague and it's not really of super relevance to what's going on.
Yeah.
Because the crux of Warhammer is the Horus Heresy happened.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
Well, it's hard for them again, like in the modern age, to flesh out some of these ideals that are clearly stolen from Dune.
Well,
so it's like you can't go down that
Yeah,
route
a lot
too
of
far.
what you find is that the more you're into sci-fi, a lot of it finds itself in the singularities of like
Yeah.
single points. We know how I was talking about how Cortana and Halo and Bungie, they created the Halo universe. What I've been really into lately is like before they made Halo, they had a game series called Marathon.
Yes. Yeah.
And Marathon had a very much that same trope of like super advanced AI trying to escape the shell they're in and achieve apotheosis, becoming a god greater than anything.
Yeah.
So one of the big ones in Marathon is this an AI called Durandal, who is like an super intelligent AI and realizing that he's effectively trapped on a single ship. And what he's been trying to do is contact aliens and contact other things to eventually find himself escaping from the
to try to
physical
free
shell of himself
Yeah,
and
yeah.
achieve this level of like sentience where he basically becomes a god. And like because he's an ever-present AI that doesn't age right, he's considering things like, what if the end of the universe happens? So
Yeah, okay. And how does he like survive through
and how
that
does he survive
process?
through that process?
Interesting.
Anyway, so that's the Space Marines. So
All right.
That's a Daniel classic. Tangent right there, buddy.
I don't know if this is about 1,000 points of Space Marines. I want to make a rough estimate on this. Probably ends up being more like 600, 700 points of Space Marines.
That's so little. Usually it's like
I think you
1,000,
get
right?
one intercessor squad, and you get one. I think you get one of everything. So, which isn't too bad, but also, especially for the Space Marines, these are all big refreshes to things that people might not already have. Most people aren't going to be sad about having more intercessors. They're always kind of useful. The characters are always going to be fun to have. The big one is the Vanguard vets. People have been asking for Vanguard vets for a very long time. When I was playing Blood Angels, I just really wanted Vanguard vets, man.
Yeah.
Now onto the side that I personally really love as well, the Orcs. Orcs are kind of the last bastions of like old sculpts as well. There's still a lot of old chunky looking Orcs. The big one is the new War Boss. Big fan of that War Boss.
Yeah,
He's got that double barrel like shooter.
The dynamic posing in these minis is fantastic. As a hobbyist, seeing all these flags that you then have to paint onto these is a little daunting. You know what I mean? But altogether, these are all fantastic models.
Orcs are such a fun race in the 40k Millennium, in the 40,000 lore, because they don't really need much explaining. They just kind of exist, and they're there to be the bit of comic relief, the villain, the antagonist.
Big fan. I don't want to skip too far down, but like the weird boy. I've never been a big fan of any of the weird boy models they've released before. This one's fantastic, and the idea that like the psychic power coming, like launching out of him, and then being that it posed into the model by all of the kind of tubey things flying around behind him is really cool. Because you can just, in your mind, imagine like you CGI yourself with like the electric blue, like lightning coming from around him.
The pose is good. You can almost hear that orc screaming.
Yeah.
Because
and the crackle of power.
Exactly, right. And orcs have never really had a good control of the warp. So in contrast, you have the librarian. He's very like posed and nose directed. Like I'm firing my like psychic power towards that target. The weird boy very much is just kind of going for it. Do my best.
Well, I think as far as I can remember, the weird boy lore behind them using the warp is they just basically just rip a chunk of it out and then try and fling it, basically. Whereas, and that's why a big part of the weird boys, they're far more likely to blow themselves up is because they're ripping, like almost like tearing out with their hand out of like a, something material and ripping it, and then the themselves getting sucked straight back into that hole themselves is very high.
Correct.
So
very
cool.
The big thing with like good models is like how the posing tells a story. I love the new Pain Boy as well.
Yes.
Where it's got his hand stuck really high. It's kind of a doctor being like, hold still, I got to stab this into you.
I like the idea of like, someone who's never held a gun, but they do that thing with their hand where they're like, pew, pew, pew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got the Grot Orderly. I love the idea that orcs have enough of a system to have nurses and orderlies around running around as grots.
He's, because the weird boys, the Pain Boys are supposed to be the ones that like heal their own orcs, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's like,
sticking back together.
You know how like the whole Gazgul thing is like it was his head just put on a bigger body.
Yep.
I like that. There's the little knob, like a little grot that comes along with his thing. He's like, his big boss has died, so he's got to cut his hands off and put him onto another.
Stick
orc.
him on.
Yeah.
The orc side actually comes with 2 sets of boys, the brand new revision of boys. This is the 3rd time boys have gotten a refresh. So we had the boys, and then we had the combat patrol upgrade to the boys. And now we have this is supposed to be the penultimate boys.
Well, this is back to the classic models.
Yep.
It's gone from the boys to the shark boys back to the regular ones.
Oh, and there's Beast Boys, correct?
Yes, yeah.
So this is supposed to be like, now we're back. This is the boys kit. This is going to give you both shooters and stabbers. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You just play with the boys. And I think that's a lot more straightforward. The kit on this thing is lovely. I love that boss knob. He's got this, once again, that double barrel shooter with
Yeah.
the belt of ammunition coming off of him.
Yeah,
Incredible
he actually looks really cool. That's a cool like hobby modeling opportunity right there.
And,
for
uh,
sure.
The painting on the sword. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can
so
tell.
good.
You can tell that they put a lot of love into this, like that weathered, checkered look.
Yeah.
On the
Because checkered orcs look good, right?
on the in the boys, the boss in there's a tiny little squig inside of like a
I
tube.
love that one. Yeah. What they've really done a lot of as well in these new orc kits is integrate little fun bits of knobs everywhere. I don't know if you guys are on that picture, but go to the third picture on the right. So on the very left, you have a little squig kind of like biting the pants of the guy and flying off.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they've integrated a bit of fun. It's like the Nurgling thing for Death Guard.
Yes, yeah.
We have a little bit of flavor on the Marines.
Yeah.
On the orcs now.
He's a happy little looking fella, isn't he?
And I don't know anything about squigs, but they're kind of cool. I think they're food, right? That's what they eat.
They're supposed to be like mushrooms, yeah.
Okay.
They grow them like as feed to go along with them.
So they're
And if they survive long enough without getting eaten when they're small, they basically just get to live.
hang out with them now.
And
Yeah.
bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
They just keep growing.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah, they
Giant squeaks,
Oh, yeah,
right?
'cause they ride them.
yeah, I think the whole theory is that like it can be exponentially grow. So if
Right.
they get left out of hand, they get way too big. So they try to use them as weaponry before.
What a
then.
society where your cavalry, you eat your cavalry and then you go for
Big
it.
Mac Duckery. Oh, my
Oh yeah, the big mech Dakar rig is sick. You know, I don't
Yeah.
know. Have you seen a return to form of them putting things on legs? We talked about with Dale last week the Age of Sigmar tower that's got
Yeah,
legs,
yeah.
and now they've gone back. You know, 'cause
Some designer really likes walkers.
yeah, like I think there was for a little bit. And rightly so. Orcs were going in that way of the Mad Max kind of situation where it was all vehicles and race
Absolutely,
cars and stuff.
absolutely.
But to me, those were cool, and I get it from like the concept design. But I would much rather see this Dakar rig than
Yeah.
a car going on the battlefield. You know what I mean?
What in the trailer they put out, they didn't really properly emphasize the size of the mini because the barrel on this gun is huge.
Yeah,
man.
he's a big boy.
It's a big shooter, bro. Gretchen, shout
Where
out
did
to
they
Gretchen.
steal this from?
What do you mean?
Well, all the weaponries, they didn't make it, right? So they have to steal
Well,
it
the
somewhere.
whole point of the orcs, they just scrap together random things.
Yeah, where
and
did they
then,
steal it from then?
honestly, probably from like other humans. They just like raid human planets and scrap them together. So the orc technology is crude, but it's designed to be that way because with their belief system, they make it work.
Yeah, I think the original concepts for a lot of the guns back in the day was that a lot of the orc stuff was clearly a bolter that was turned into something else.
Correct.
I don't know if you can truly say that for a lot of the weapons these days.
You can tell
But
that, yeah.
you can look at it like, you know, that's clearly just a bolt pistol that's been like
Restrapped.
repositioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, if you look at the Gretchen, for example, a lot of those guns are just the auto guns, the human guns you find around.
Yeah.
So, and then the war track, it's like the mounted MG, a little bit of the Speed Freaks look to them,
Yeah.
giving that a little bit more mounted feel.
Yeah.
This is probably, for me, this is my least favorite of the Orc set, and that's me really enjoying all the Orc minis. Not saying this is a bad mini. This is the one part that I'm like, it's all right.
Meh.
The
I reckon if you're the guy that has the like the orc vehicle
Yeah.
like army
you're that
ready,
Mad
this,
Max
this
guy.
is such a cool addition to that.
it is peak Mad
I
Max.
just wanted a, what's it called? Squig off? What's that?
Squig off riders. What?
Squig off?
Squig offs?
the
What?
really big one.
Squig off in like a machine squig off.
Oh, like the Age of Sigmar
Like a
giant squig.
rhinoceros mech, you know?
This stuff is really ramping up to be really cool for me because around the same time that this box comes out, I think Dawn of War 4 is coming out as well, and then they're coming out with an Orc campaign. It's going to really ride into my psyche, and I'm really going to get into that mindset of I want to play Orcs now.
Yeah.
The also we quickly mentioned as well the big boss, the big boss as well. He's one of the two-handed axe.
Yep.
Of all the Orcs, which are very much a like strapped together technology advanced 40k thing. This is the most fantasy looking one because he's just wielding a classic two-handed
Yeah, he's just got a massive axe, right?
big old axe. You know what I mean? Like you could easily refashion this as something in Age of Sigmar as well if you wanted to.
Yeah, very true, yeah. He's also got a little flat little squig that he's obviously stood on by accident there.
No, absolutely. And then I think as an 11th edition box, very enticing. Orcs, in my opinion, orcs are very popular. I think people really like orcs. Leviathan was an incredible set as well. I think this is going to be lining up to be quite another big one as well.
It's cool. I like I guess the concept moving into 11th, with them still allowing players to use the 10th edition books and it being less of a hard transition over. I think is good, and I think it'll keep a lot more people on side. I don't know how you guys feel, but it being in the shop, I think the exiting of 10th has been not. When 10th first came around, we've now Northern Boards has existed for the entirety of leaving 9th into 10th and then 10th exiting.
Because Northern Boards was in 2019.
Yeah.
Now we're 2026.
And
so we're talking 6-7 years.
I feel like the excitement going into 10th was really high. We had a lot of guys coming back as their first time playing since they were kids. They're getting back into it. They really liked the simplicity bit of 10th. But then by the end of it, 10th felt like a really vocally unpopular set. Or is that just people, loud minority?
I think it's loud minority.
Okay.
So I think we've been long enough now that we've seen how the methodology of Games Workshop and their long-term plans.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can really see when Games Workshop set out long-term plans, and they really started with the beginning of 9th edition when they were really restructuring themselves to be like, we got to be a little bit more intro-friendly. We got to start marketing ourselves. We're going to take our franchise and IP and diversify it out to other things. We'll bring more people into the hobby, right? There was a big restructuring because you could tell around 9th edition is also when they started building towards things like the Horus Heresy and the old world. So 9th edition was a real restructuring of the game and the ideas, and then 10th edition was when they executed it. And 10th edition was, we're going to focus on making this game more accessible, bringing out tons more, way more minis, and focus on refreshing minis as well. And to all of 10th edition, we found immense positive growth. I wouldn't be surprised if numbers came out that after 10th edition, the population size of Warhammer players has doubled.
Yeah, okay.
Doubled from 9th edition. And then you see
the stock prices double.
Yeah. Well, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And you'll see it through anecdotal evidence from when we talk to, because we're pretty chummy with other games workshops around Perth.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to people, and anecdotally you will hear the same thing with so many more new players, so many more things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, obviously, as a hobbyist, in the past, if you wanted a mini refresh, sometimes you would wait forever.
Yeah.
And in 10th edition, single-handedly in one edition, they've more or less refreshed the entire 40k lineup.
Yeah.
There's not really old minis anymore. You'll still get the occasional here and there, but in terms of the main foundational minis, you're pretty much good to go now.
The only things I can really think about is some of the and I could be wrong, but is it the Dark Elder? Is it the only things where they're still hanging on to some of the older minis? Or is that good and I just haven't noticed?
No, Drukhari are good now.
They got
the
changeover?
really just comes down to some of the elder a lot of the characters, individual stuff tend to still be pretty old. At the moment, Vanguard Vets is still old until 11th edition comes around.
Yeah.
Here and there. So 10th edition was massive growth and massive jumps in production and Warhammer. And then 11th edition, I think, is when they're going to basically capitalize on the massive population scale. I think 11th, my speculation is that 11th Ed is going to see massive revisions to the other games. Because here's the thing, as a company, it's not that Games Workshop goes, hey, 40k is doing really well, we're just going to do 40k.
Yeah.
As a company, 40k goes incredibly well. So with the money and with the extra population base, we can actually start diversifying into making AOS better, they're lagging behind games to a lot better. So I think 11th edition is when we're going to see massive refreshes and additions to the other game systems.
How do you make AOS better?
So here's the thing. So 11th edition comes out this year.
Yeah.
And then I think it's 5th edition Age of Sigmar comes out next year.
Yeah, okay.
And we already know there's hints, there's little rumors going on with for example, in AOS, they want to kind of a cleaner slate for the lore. Because a lot of people's complaints with Age of Sigmar is that there's no I don't feel attached to any of the characters. I don't feel attached to any of the world here.
Correct, yeah.
Right? So I think they're trying to pull it back. It's the Fractured Realms is going to get pulled back into being a real map.
Have you heard this?
No.
So supposedly the rumors that they want to take the Fractured Realms and they want to. I don't know if they actually are, but they want
It's
to.
a rumor, yeah.
They want to set into space where there's more of a real world. There's more of a map.
They're going to take
You
all, how it's all different. Every single plane, the magic planes, is all different, different places.
Yeah.
They're going to just blow them all up and then condense them back all into one planet. So it's one physical planet that you can then fight over.
So is this old and new world combined? or
Yes.
something?
Wow. It
It's
feels
very much inspired by Old World, right? The original Warhammer Fantasy.
My biggest problem was
So now you can use old world models into
I don't
AOS?
think so. I think it's what they're trying to do. That when they're trying to do
That'd be
they're
interesting.
I think they're trying to shuttle the lore more than anything.
trying to
else,
set in a space where if they do write lore and they do write stuff interesting character stuff, it feels more tangible.
It's a Marvel tech team.
Yeah.
Because the big problematic thing is that when they first came out with Stormcast Eternals, for example, right? Stormcast Eternals are immortal. when someone dies, they just go back to Sigma and then get reforged. And they realize that's stupid. We need to actually have like when characters die in stories, we need to have.
They did start writing into the law that every time they get reborn, that they reduce.
So that's
a little
why
bit,
they added that, right? Because they need to add consequence to the characters dying.
Absolutely.
But that's still not. That's not a big enough consequence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they realize that. So that's why all the writing in Age of Sigmar is based on humans instead.
Yeah.
One of the interesting characters are people that can have consequence to their actions.
I think that's the biggest problem I had with the law, and this is why I could never get into it. I genuinely tried really hard too. And that's, with the big thing with like Michael starting with us, and we had this. I remember having these discussions way back in the day when fantasy went away and AOS came about. When they've got these effectively space-sized battles where you're trying to turn them into like some of the human populations of these Age of Sigmar areas was bigger than the 40k planets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's millions upon millions of people. And I remember one of the biggest things in the early stories was some whatever the other faction was, came in and it wanted to destroy this human population. So what they did was they got millions of people and they magicked the city up out of the ground and gave it basically like hovercraft fucking bottom, right?
Yeah.
And then they used millions upon millions of humans with carrying chains to drag this city out of the way. And it's like,
Sounds like Sokovia.
Like, holy shit.
It just it just sounds like there's no consequences because if you
Sokovia Cots, brother.
if there's so from Marvel, but it's like the whole point is like if you've got so many human beings that you can drag an entire like monumental city with billions of people in it out of the way, what does it matter if 1 million people die? And that's a story that will hold people's attention. It has to have consequences. If in 40k like Cadia blows up, it's huge and affects the rest of the world, like the world of the game, right? The universe of the game. In Warhammer, the old world, if a city gets finally taken by the vampire counts or the Nording raiders or whatever, it creates trade problems and stuff like that. But an entire portion of the planet, like one of these planets could blow out in AOS, and it was like, oh, it doesn't matter because there's you know what I mean? The other side can keep fighting just as strong as it has ever done.
Because the whole idea of there being so many realms is that it feels detached. When I look at Age of Sigmar, and I see the realm of death, the realm of order and such, it just kind of feels detached. It's a game with minis for me, but there's no world for me to suck me in. And I think there is a very big population base which don't care about the lore and they just want cool minis and cool game.
Yeah.
But for me, long-term players, the more you build and paint your minis, you kind of want to know more about what's going on.
Yeah,
and you read into it,
sure.
and it really gives you an extra depth of why you enjoy it. Like, for example, I enjoy Blood Angels because there's the depth of the reason behind the chapter and there's the sacrifice of Sanguinius. I like...
Every single death of one of the Space Marines is a big deal. You know what I mean? Because this is, each Space Marine is thousands of years of like expertise and like research and experience. And it's like one of them goes, it's a huge deal.
Correct. So I'm really curious to see how they take Age of Sigmar. I think also they've found a stable player base and a growing player base for stuff like Horus Heresy and the Old World. So with the 11th edition, it's funny because I'm talking about in 40k eras, but really Warhammer operates on 40k eras, like each era of 40k. So the next era is also going to see a big boost, I think, with Old World. We're definitely going to see Kislev. We're going to see probably 2nd edition Old World at some point as well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That will hopefully kind of find a new population base. Horus Heresy is still finding its place as well. They're really expanding at Horus Heresy. And in the past, when you look at Horus Heresy, it was just Space Marines or Space Marines.
Yeah.
But now it's not, right? Now there's Soul Auxiliary,
some of their
now
new
there's
model
AdMech.
kits are incredible.
The new custos. There's actually a lot more going on now. And you can look at Horus Heresy as that's a different way to play Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
Warhammer in general.
And the amount of 40k players using their custode models from Heresy.
Incredible. Because they're incredible minis. I'm a certified, not a big fan of custodes.
Yeah.
But the new minis are banging.
I think the detail on their armor plates allowed the full gold is kind of like a hose in sometimes, but the detail on the armor plates hides some of the sheer gold of it.
I think this time you really get the regalness and the elegance of custodes versus the old custodes look good, but a little more like chunky.
They suffered from the same problem from the first Stormcast Eternals, I think, where there's a lot of like big sheer plates, and it's hard to make that look good.
Yeah, that wide look versus more
But it's
proportionate.
big though.
They're now more proportionate, and I'll be honest, that more proportionate looks better on them.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's the Warhammer side of the world. I think it's going to be really exciting. The truth of the matter is, my only concern is now that I hope they just make enough Armageddon.
Yeah.
They just really got to send it down.
Screwed on the allocation.
Because I don't know how much we can talk about it, but like, we're friends with Warhammer Journal, and when Leviathan came around, they did not get a lot of Leviathan.
Yeah, okay.
And in fact, some local like LGSs like ourselves actually received more stock than an official Warhammer store did.
Yeah, really. I guess it's how well we butter up our reps in the meantime.
Pretty much.
We'll start sending them cookies now.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get enough of that, enough Armageddon, and make sure that like if you have a box like this, it's in GW's interest to make it that if someone wants the box, they get the box. Because they get you into the hobby.
Maybe this is a real business venture, right? We buy like an Airbnb on the Blue Mountains or something, and then we send our reps like free weekends at the Blue Mountains.
Yeah. Just bump that number right up for us.
It's fully tax writable, and we can, if we want a holiday, we can go over there and see the mountains.
It's funny because this is exactly how this works in other places in the world. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of like,
would you like the rock pool?
Yeah.
And a lot of Asian countries, like if you want to have like good business relations, you literally like, let's go on a restaurant, let's take you around.
Yeah, it's not called bribery over there; it's just called regular business.
Yeah, exactly. So it happens all the time. I remember because the idea of reputation and like how you treat your business partners is a big deal in those Asian countries.
Yeah,
and like you're saving like in your face, how you present yourself.
Yeah.
So like I remember when I was in China with one of my uncles. My uncle was on a business trip to Shanghai, and there was like the company would literally like. I literally had a private chauffeur take us around Shanghai just to kind of show us the sights and like have a little holiday trip. And then we literally went to go to a nice little restaurant, and it was all business. It was all business. Like it wasn't just a thing they do. This is just all business.
Yeah. I've got a mate who's building a investment building in Southeast Asia. And some regulations had to be met about how to do certain part of the build. And instead of meeting those regulations, he as part of the build, paid for the builder's house, own personal house, to get re-roofed.
Yep.
And those regulations disappeared.
Correct. The other parts of the world, right?
It is very fun to be like, oh well, this didn't mean anything anymore.
The new roof.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it'll work on me, but if someone offered me a nice little steak dinner, you know, but
you get allocation.
But anyway, so the next big news is that now that Secrets of Strixhaven is released and behind us, the big news on the plate is Marvel Superheroes and The Hobbit.
The Hobbit, yeah.
You guys have a chance.
And also Reality Fracture.
Reality Fracture. They hit a little bit of Reality Fracture. The big one.
Haven, you mean?
Yeah,
it's not Strixhaven.
The big one of Reality
yeah.
Fracture is that they're doing. It's the idea of it is a bit of a time spiral situation where, like, what if we take this but reversed it?
Change up the colors.
And then the packs. Each pack comes with the same character but twice. So the idea is that each pack comes with a character. And
So like
you get,
Ninja Turtles.
well, the idea is it's more like the example they give is that you open your pack and you get Chandra Torch of Defiance, which is the classic red.
And they're going to
Chandra we've
guarantee
seen.
that in every pack.
And then the reverse, you get Chandra Chill of Defiance.
That seems like but that seems like they're seeding packs more than randomizing packs.
Yeah, I think it's a bit like when you open. It's a bit like it's still based on the rare and mythic, the rarity system. But if you pull say a mythic Chandra, you also
get
get
both.
the reverse mythic Chandra as well.
Damn,
Crazy.
2 mythics. For free.
It's just the same card, but on the back of each card.
Maybe. Honestly, that actually could be the case. I actually don't know.
And Marvel is a large set too. 700 cards.
Marvel's a
almost.
proper set.
Yeah,
Really?
700 unique.
700
So,
cards.
okay, for your information, Final Fantasy has 700 unique cards as well.
Yeah, that feels like an incredibly large set.
Correct.
Yeah, but
because it had commander decks, everything,
and
the whole hog.
Marvel, it is also another $600 to $700, 600 to 700 unique cards as well.
Damn, that's crazy.
Because you have 4,
But it's
4 commander decks.
I think the difference is though with Final Fantasy, they were really trying to. They probably want to get as much Final Fantasy from all the different games, all the different lore smashed into that one set, right?
Well, you have so much Marvel as well, right?
Yeah, I know, but they're going to come. How many stones are there? 5?
What?
The stones, Thanos stones.
Each knuckle plus the middle, so 6.
6, right? There's 6. So we're going to theoretically come back to Marvel at least 6 times, right?
Well, they've already announced
So-
one of the stones.
Yeah,
Mind Stone.
What I'm saying is
Yeah.
because they've done one stone in the first set, Spider-Man, and then one stone in this next set.
Yeah.
There's
And they've
700.
announced that stone as well for this set, the Marvel Superheroes.
Yeah, so, but what I'm saying is that means there's at least 4 more times we're going to come back to Marvel.
Yeah.
So that's 4 times
Or do you
700
reckon they're just
cards.
going to do all the stones in
No,
this
no,
one
no.
set?
Spider-Man was a small set.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Do you
it's
reckon
a
they're gonna
really
do,
small
Do you
set.
reckon they're going to do one stone or all the stones in this one set?
No,
No,
one
they'll
stone.
just do one per set.
Okay.
This is kind of what
That's
I'm
how
trying
they capitalize on you,
Marvel.
bro.
This is what I'm kind of saying. Like, if we, let's say, I guess if this one's 700, and what do we reckon Marvel was? The Spider-Man, like 300, 400?
Spider-Man's really small
Yeah.
set.
Yeah, okay.
I
Really
think the
small
fact
set.
that this is a big set is actually welcoming news.
Yes.
I'm actually okay. So there's a lot of naysayers because there's a lot of general negativity about Universe Beyond now, and we've had that whole fatigue of Spider-Man into TMNT. But I really, truly
Spider-Man into Avatar into TMNT.
think, yes. But I really think that Wizards of the Coast will see how it's, the reception behind Marvel's. All that said is now they're going to Marvel Superheroes. They really know they need to double down on this one here. This is the big one. They can't mess up the Marvel license like this.
Yeah.
They're really gonna. That's why it's a big set, proper with commander decks, with Jumpstart, with all the boosters. We already seen some of the hinting towards some of the art, like that comic book art style that's coming back. I really think they're really going to boost this one because the truth of the matter with Marvel Spider-Man is that not everyone's a Spider-Man fan. But at some point in the average card gamers, the average nerd's life, including my own, we've probably found ourselves enjoying one or two.
Do you think they'll come up with an X-Men set?
I think there'll be
That'd be cool,
I think there'll be X-Men in here, but there will be a proper X-Men set because X-Men is its
Can you
own standalone
imagine
thing.
the Sentinel is an artifact creature?
But I'm into that idea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind an X-Men thing. I think Wolverine is cool.
Oh, so it is a here set, and it's gonna be the big set for this year. I think
there's
700 cards.
there's gonna be a ton of crazy cards in this set.
I reckon one of the
think
sets
it's
will be
juiced up.
predominantly like X-Men setted.
So,
because
but
it's such a big part of the
Correct.
franchise.
Hobbit is a small set.
What?
Hobbit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I think Hobbit's back to a regular size set.
Yeah. Small
Because
set.
in the middle of the year, just like last year, we had Final
It's a lot
Fantasy
of,
they do one like really big one.
Controversy on Hobbit now because of the artwork.
The One Ring.
The One Ring artwork.
So
is,
we know there was a reprint to the One
Is
Ring.
what, sorry?
the artwork.
Is what, though?
There's controversy on
Okay,
it.
so
About
I'll
what?
explain it. So we know there's a reprint of the One Ring.
Yeah.
And the One Ring is one of the potential pulls from the box toppers.
Yes, sir.
So what happened was the art that came out of it is drawn by Dan Fraser. Except Dan Fraser has been caught in a bunch of controversy because what happened was it looks like the One Ring art that he drew was just the original One Ring art, but reversed. So the One Ring, the One Ring that, on the one that Gollum's reaching to, the one that was in the scene box. So that art, but reversed, and then Dan Fraser looks like he's just kind of painted and traced over it. But a bunch of controversy over it because when you see it side by side, it's very apparent. And then just this morning, Dan Fraser's team has come out officially with a statement saying, this is true, apologies, we didn't realize this was a thing. Dan Fraser kind of apologized with the whole situation. WotC has come out also saying, we've become aware of the situation. We apologize to the original artist. We're going to make sure that they're compensated. At the moment, we can't change the art, but what we're going to do is that all digital versions and all like when you see it online,
We'll have
it's gonna
the right
credit
artist name.
of both artists, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's such a
Crazy.
it's unfortunate because it's such a
and-
black mark on
Donato Giancarlo came out with a statement as well. And
Which is the original artist.
no. Donato Giancarlo is a Wizards artist
Yes.
for over like 15, 20
he's a
years.
big one, yeah.
He's a big one. So a lot of like your famous cards is painted by Giancarlo himself.
Yes.
And he stated that he didn't like how Wizards is going towards digital art right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that, artists couldn't make the additional money. Because digital art, when you draw it, it's on digital, right? You pass that art to
Wizards,
WotC, and that's
yeah.
end. That's the end of it.
Yeah,
You can't print that art. But if you drew that art,
have
you
the
have
original.
multiple income sources as well.
Yeah.
First, you have the original art which you can sell.
Yep.
You can print artist proof,
Yeah.
which you can sell.
Which
like,
I'm a big fan of buying
of
artist
cons,
prints.
right?
Yeah.
All the cons and the conventions and stuff, you
correct.
can sell those. Those are additional money for the artist. So Donato himself was trying to like explain that all this lost income, it could be like a couple of $100,000 worth of extra income for the artist.
Correct. When you send it digitally, you just kind of
Yeah.
kick it off the Wizards.
So one of my friends in Malaysia did the Strixhaven, the originals. No, sorry, not Strixhaven. Streets of New Capenna.
Yeah.
The 6 tokens.
Oh yeah.
The 6
Yeah,
Asia
yeah.
exclusive token. I think he painted 3 of it,
Yep.
of the tokens. And I asked him, like, do you have artist proof for sale? He's like, no, I can't sell any artist proof because
Yeah.
I
Not allowed
drew
to
it
in his
digitally.
contract?
Yeah. Because he's a digital artist.
Right.
And
Because
and
rather than
WotC
having a physical original that WotC doesn't have any rights over,
Correct.
If it's a digital, then it's Wizards property.
correct. So
Then you're reselling Wizards
So
property.
Wizards picked them, like the new artists, which draw only exclusively on digital. So they
Wizards
can't
can retain rights.
So these guys can't draw like on like oils or acrylic
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They're not experienced.
It's a weird choice for someone like Dan Fraser, who's
He's a titan of the industry. He's been around forever.
like really one of the few names that most people would recognize from Magic art. For him to phone something in by sketching someone else's thing, right?
It's-
Is that a weird choice?
It's real unfortunate because it's such an iconic headliner card for any Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
theme set. It's The Hobbit. We were all looking forward to the One Ring big reprint, and the art that's come out is actually very Dan Fraser style. It's that idea of a artifact over a kind of like a vague background to really emphasize the artifact, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that the art now has that black mark on it, it's really sad to see.
Yeah.
And hopefully that won't But hopefully that won't be a problem for the rest of the Hobbit set, because the truth of the matter is the rest of the Hobbit set is looking really cool so far.
Yeah. I know some people aren't a big fan of like the direct art direction for Smaug, but for me, if you look at J.R. Tolkien's actual original artist proofs, it was supposed to look more like a Norse, like a worm, like like that skinnier, sharper, intelligent looking thing. And he
old school fantasy dragons before that kind of they got like the kind of coolified.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. They weren't supposed to be these huge battle-like creatures. They were supposed to be these intelligent, like.
He drew Demonic Tutor.
Yeah, he's drawn a lot.
Yeah, Dan Fraser's drawn.
No. This is Giancola.
Yes,
the other one, yeah. But I really like
Boss of Will.
Like J.R. Tolkien also did a bunch of kids like fairy tale kind of things. And some of them are actually
because The Hobbit was originally intended to be like a kid's story, right?
Yeah,
like a young story.
He comes from J.R. Tolkien's very more like was like British history kind of stuff, right? So if you look at the dragons that you see on the tapestries in a lot of like British things, that's more like what he depicted his dragons to look like. Because again, it was more touching on with people that of the age generations was reading his book. So that's what they saw them as, and they're the much more like funny looking like dragons where they're thinner.
Specifically, I want to talk about as well the big showcase smell, right? That's the one with the gold lacing, full art, no text. I love that art so much because that dragon, it looks like something I would get out of a really cool book cover.
Yes, yeah.
It's something that I want to have up on a post on the wall. And you know for a fact that gold foiling is going to look incredible. Yeah. Because we've seen, so we had people in this community that you mentioned as well, is that like we've seen gold foiling before in a lot of card games. One of the card games that did it really well was Sorcery.
Yeah,
on the Arthurian Legends stuff.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Like Arthurian Legends, the gilding on the cards and that all kind of tapestry kind of feel. I think Smaug's going to look incredible in that showcase, and I'm really, really cool to see what they do with other characters too.
I'm hoping that it's not like a One Ring situation where you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars, because I really want one. Like I really want one, but I don't $10,000 want one.
I reckon they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to do a 1-on-1 again. I don't know if they can pull off a 1-on-1 again. Because the 1-on-1 was the big one.
They can't. They should.
They will end up being serialized.
I mean, they could put another one, like another shit.
Yeah, I think there will be like
serialized
something.
Well, they didn't do any serialized in this one, which is interesting.
Which one?
There's no serialized cards in The Hobbit.
Now that we know,
not yet. They haven't announced anything yet.
I'm hoping that
They
it's more of a
announced
poster
in
situation for
Reality
Smaug.
Factor, yes.
Yeah.
The same of Textless.
Yeah.
And then
it's funny because that card
Marvel is the Mind Stone.
The OG card of that textless card has so much text. So to have a textless version of that is very funny because there's like 3 abilities and 2 different ways to cast the card. So having a card that doesn't have text on it is it's a funny choice.
We've seen the Arkenstone as well. Like they've actually showed off a fair few like notable cards. Like the Arkenstone is an artifact, 5 mana, has adventure.
Yeah.
So and it lets you search your library for a legendary creature card and put it in your hand. Or the artifact side, which is all you could just get +1/+1, and at the end step, draw a card. It's 5 mana. Feels like it's just a really good all-rounder artifact.
I thought they would really push the Arkenstone and make it this versions of the One Ring because artifact-wise, it's the kind of same.
But the Hobbit is the Arkenstone that's the main thing, not the ring.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so that's why I thought it'd be far more push. Whereas that is a more reasonable.
A one-on-one Arkenstone, maybe.
What a lot of people didn't. Oh, wait, did they show off more things? I haven't seen these yet. Okay, what they haven't, dude. Okay, so first things first. Love the lands. The Fallout lands.
Yeah, the lands are
that's
incredible.
Nice.
Yeah,
these are gorgeous.
There's the land. There's the ones where it's these might be
my favorite
together.
Fallout lands yet.
They've also got the lands where it goes through the weather systems. So each one of the basics has a different part of the summer, autumn, winter, spring.
Yes, with the Shire.
Yeah,
very pretty.
It is very pretty. Yeah,
I think for me, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit is very much the classic like fantasy of like we're going on an adventure. We're going on a trip, and it's just like the destination is not the goal. It's the we're going on together this grand adventure to see the sights and
July
solve.
Is Marvel.
You know,
yeah.
Yes.
That's incredible. These are also incredible with the actual old school style comic book, not comic book covers. Now,
you know when they did the D&D book covers, I thought they should have done that approach rather than that sheer back beige cover.
Yeah.
I think that would have been far more popular. If they'd done that way.
There's a lot of people at Northern Boards who are big Lord of the Rings fans. I know that Michael Kurgan, he's also a massive Lord of the Rings fan. So for him, this is right up everyone's alley. Yeah. I'll be honest. So we're keen. We're very keen. Prediction is Hobbit's going to be one of the biggest sets of the year. I actually think Marvel's going to be the second biggest set of the year.
Yeah,
I very
yeah.
much think so. I think there's a lot of.
I know what's the
things going on.
shittiest set of the year already.
Which one?
Star Trek.
Star Trek vs TMNT.
Star Trek shit.
You reckon?
think Star Trek will do better.
No,
I
think
truly believe
Star Trek
Trek
is going to
will
be
be
worse.
better.
It's like Doctor Who.
Hopefully they go the same art direction with the Star Trek stuff as the Edge of Eternities. If they can keep the same similar art direction and those feel like those decks can be built together, that'd be really fun.
I think there is enough just general sci-fi fans to see cool spaceships and like planets and stuff and get into it.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they like, I'm sure there's an
It's going to be
incredible
like
amount of
Doctor
Star
Who
Trek
is
fans
shit
out
at
there.
start and strong at the end, like 2
Strong
years
towards the
later.
end. But that's predictions for most of these kind of sets.
It's funny, like it's still very jarring when you see have a Doctor Who card on the table. I don't know if it's just me, but it's all their card design, art design, the way they've done a bunch of stuff is like it's a lot of. Even though everything's changed quite a lot, there's still fantasy ideals around Ninja Turtles and Final Fantasy and all this stuff. And then you see a Doctor Who card, and you're like, feels weird.
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah, it feels it's so jarring compared to a lot of the other product they have. So.
My prediction for Marvel set is we're going to get some crazy, jacked up, really powerful cards that's going to drive the popularity of the set, alongside the fact that there is enough Marvel fans out there to be.
And then you have the
hey,
Spider-Man
I just
movie.
really like, Captain America, or I just really like,
And then you have
Nick
the
Fury.
Doomsday
Doctor
movie
Doom.
coming out year
Yeah,
end.
yeah. Marvel's
You have Spider-Man
bit of a
coming out
resurgence.
as well.
So there's more Marvel movies laced for this year, is there?
Yeah, two. So Spider-Man
Right.
and Doctor Doom at the end of the year.
Yeah, okay. Is Doctor Doom the
Oh,
one
the
where
movies,
they've got
the movies, right?
Everybody's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, everyone's back.
Yeah, everyone's back.
I think it's an alternate timeline thing. Like they're doing.
Yeah,
it
it's definitely an alternate timeline, but everyone's back.
Yeah. Because it's the Downey Jr. is coming back to play
Yeah.
Doctor Doom, right?
in case of emergency, bring back Downey Jr.
Because they made
definitely.
they made a big deal out about it that a couple of years ago. Then I just haven't really heard much since.
No,
but I'm also
they
not on
made
the-
a big deal like what's his name? Chris Evans said like his name was coming back to Marvel, and I guess the paycheck is big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney got that blink
It's
check
like,
going.
hey, how about this? I was like, how about this?
It's funny because for so many years, for a good 10 years of my life, and this sounds a little weird to admit as a middle-aged man trying to do life properly, but the Marvel movies were such a big part of
Yeah, it is.
It was like,
Since
Yeah.
2007.
I feel
Yeah.
like it owned the entire 2010,
20
2020.
years of
yeah,
your
like
life.
the calendar of like
Yeah.
movies and things
It
coming
owned
out,
a
right?
decade of movies.
Like you-
2 decades already.
Like I know with my
But
Iron Man 1
I'm
is
thinking like
07.
I'm talking about like it dominated. Like 2000 it felt like from 2010, 2020, it dominated the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That decade.
like I'll use my boy as an excuse because he was a kid and we'd go see them, but I probably would have seen them without him anyway. Let's be honest. But there was, you knew that this certain times of year there's movies coming out. You had something to look forward to. And I don't know if you guys go to the movies regularly anymore, but I still
Movies are shit right now.
yeah. It's the amount of times you look at what's on and there's literally nothing on at theaters. And you're like, how are they surviving? Like we went and saw Busboy, which is like that Theo Von movie that came out, and it was deplorable. Like it was horrifically bad. I could have.
Bus Boy.
Yeah, I've never.
the hell is that?
I've never walked out of a movie, but I could easily have walked out in about 5 minutes.
I don't know if I want to go check out a Theo Von movie.
Yeah.
I like him in parts, but I don't know about a movie.
Yeah, it was.
So-
There was one part in the movie where I was like, and then that was it. The whole rest of it was like some of the worst writing.
The
I'd
last
ever
movie
seen.
that I genuinely really enjoyed was Project Hail Mary.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys
I
have a
haven't
chance-
watched that.
That's in theaters now, still though, right?
Maybe you could still catch it. I highly recommend William. Did you watch like Interstellar and the?
Yeah.
Have you watched The Martian?
No.
The one with Matt Damon on the Mars.
Oh yeah. Yes.
If you like those movies, you will like Project Hail Mary.
Oh really?
Project Hail Mary is a
I love
legitimately
Interstellar.
yeah. Project Hail Mary is legitimately like fun, smart sci-fi movie with like a really good feels good, and Ryan Gosling does a proper good job of like emphasizing. He's really good at playing the slightly goofy but relatable, likable protag caught in a bad situation. And Project Hail Mary is if you get a chance to watch the movie, it's a real feast for the eyes. Like really fun watch.
I'll watch it at home.
Good story.
Yeah.
It's coming out on Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever.
Probably. I think it was literally funded by like one of them. I think it's like an Amazon production. I think it's like an Amazon movie production. One of those
So
ones.
it's gonna be on Prime.
Yeah.
Gotta pay $20 to buy it.
Alrighty, guys. We're at a 1 hour mark. We've talked a bit about Magic. We've talked about Warhammer. There's a bunch of things changing around. Hopefully next time we get some feature episodes as well. I know we want to get another lore episode in at some point as
Yeah,
well.
I think we'll have to do this Tuesday because then next week we're at Tokyo Alley.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Is
we have a lot to say
is
about
the
that one.
One Piece event on the Friday, the Saturday or the Sunday?
The Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah. All right. Take care, everyone.
Beautiful,
Bye.
lovely.